video will show you how to do the difference quotient. The difference quotient is defined by this function right here, f of x plus h minus f of x over h, and this is valid only when h does not equal 0 because you know you can't divide by 0. This is used in calculus, and right now all we're doing is all the algebra that's involved with this. There's a lot of places to make goofy arithmetic or sign mistakes on this, so if you have to, stop the video on each line and see where you are. This is defined as the difference quotient. Here's the function we're beginning with. This function to begin with can change. So here's our original function, and we want to evaluate the difference quotient. My suggestion is to do it bit by bit. Part of this difference quotient is f of the quantity x plus h. So let's just do f of x plus h. F of x plus h means for us to plug in x plus h in for each of these x's. So put x plus h in here, put x plus h in here. So this is 2 times the quantity x plus h squared, that's x plus h going in for that x, minus quantity x plus h in for that x plus 3. You do need to use the parentheses because that's the whole quantity being squared. It's the whole quantity being negated. Then this is your Algebra 1 stuff. X plus h squared means x plus h times x plus h. This I just wrote exactly the same. Foil this out. So on this next line I have foiled out x plus h times x plus h gives me this. The 2 is still sitting in front. On the same line I also distributed the negative through here to have negative x minus h. The plus 3 stays where it is. Distribute 2 through that parentheses is what gives you this line right here. And the minus x minus h plus 3 stays the same. That is your expression for f of x plus h. You're going to put this whole expression in place of f of x plus h. So my next line is ugly. Here's my, right here, this is my f of x plus h. That's all of that. And then minus f of x. Well, what was f of x? Your original function. So minus parentheses your original function. Clean that up a little bit. The minus in front tells you to distribute the negative, turns that to a negative, turns that to a positive, turns that to a negative. All of this part in the front stayed the same. Now at this point there's always going to be some simplifying you can do. We have a 2x squared and a negative 2x squared cancel out. We have a negative x and an x that cancel out. A 3 and a negative 3 cancel out. So that will give me this line right here. All that's left up here is a 4xh, a 2h squared, and a negative h. This is all over h. Hopefully you notice there's an h in common through everything at the top here. So factor out an h, which gives me this. Now we can cancel out the h's, and then that represents the difference quotient for that original function. Lots of places to make arithmetic mistakes if you're not careful. All right, let's look at another example. Same difference quotient, f of x plus h minus f of x over h. Here's the original function. And as I suggested on the last screen, let's just do f of x plus h to begin with. Let's not get so complicated over here. Let's just do f of x plus h, which is just asking us to take x plus h and plug that in for that x right there. So x plus h goes in place of that x plus h goes in place of that x, and the 5 just tags along. It's going to be the same process as we did before. We're going to have to square out this x plus h. So write it out twice so that you can FOIL it. So on this step, I have FOILed it out and combined my like terms. I still have this negative 2 coefficient in front of the parentheses that needs to be distributed. So distribute that through there, multiply negative 2 times all of that. These 3 terms are just going to stay where they are. And that right there is our expression for f of x plus h. So I'm going to plug all of this in for that f of x plus h. All of that's going to go in place of that little spot there. So that's this right here. Then I need to subtract f of x. F of x just refers to the original function, which is this right here. So I put it in parentheses because I do need to distribute that negative through there. So the front of this is going to stay as is. That's the front. And then I'm just distributing the negative, which is going to change all of those signs. So it changes it to a positive 2x squared, changes it to a negative x, changes it to a negative 5. At this point, I just need to go through and combine any like terms and cancel stuff out. I have a negative 2x squared and a positive 2x squared that cancel. A positive x and a negative x that cancel. and a 5 with a negative 5 that cancels. And then what we have left is this, negative 4xh minus 2h squared plus h all over h. This remaining part is just a matter of factoring out an h out of the top. I could have taken a negative h, but I chose to just take an h to make this canceling here easier. So I factored an h out of all three of these terms, which is how I end up with this. Then the h's are going to cancel, and that is your expression for the difference quotient for this function. Let's do one more. Same difference quotient. Here's a new function. We're going to follow the same steps. Do f of x plus h, which means put x plus h in for that x, and put x plus h in for that x. So there it is with parentheses, because it is a binomial you are substituting in place of a monomial. Then we know we're going to have to write out this x plus h twice to get ready to FOIL it. So multiplied that out using FOIL. At the same time, I went ahead and distributed the negative 4 through that parentheses, and the 1 just tags along. Now it's time to distribute your 6. 6 times all of that is how I get this part, minus the 4x minus the 4h plus 1. That is our expression for the f of x plus h. So that part is done. So now I'm going to carry that whole big chunk down here, that's this right here, subtract f of x, which is our original function. So I'm subtracting this. I put it in parentheses with a minus in front, tells me to just distribute the negative through the parentheses. So that's how I end up with this step. All of this is my f of x plus h, and then distribute the negative is this negative 6x squared plus 4x minus 1. Incidentally, if you like it better, you could always put a 1 right here to show the fact that you are multiplying all of these things by negative 1 rather than thinking about changing all of the signs. Then take a look for any common terms that you could cancel out. 6x squared, negative 6x squared, negative 4x, positive 4x, 1, negative 1. Hopefully you notice that at the end there's going to be some canceling like that. If stuff doesn't cancel out like that, you've done something wrong with your algebra. What's left now is this, this, and this on top of h, which is this line right here. There is an h in all three places, so I factored out an h. And then I can cancel my h. And this right here is our expression for the difference quotient for this original function right here.